Do you have popping and clicking in the shoulder or the hip? In this video, we're going to explain more in depth what's actually causing all those problems and get you some solutions to get those fixed. Let's head over to the whiteboard so I can explain more in depth. What's up, everybody? I'm Dr. Maggio, and I am the creator of the Peak Method and the founder of the Soft Tissue Revolution. And I'm on a mission to make chronic injuries obsolete. In this video, I want to talk about popping or clicking, specifically in your shoulder or in your hip. So I have a model here of the shoulder itself. And essentially what happens is inside the shoulder, there's this piece of cartilage. It's called your labrum. Anytime there's what's called a ball and socket joint, in your shoulder and down in your hip, in between is a cushion, and that's that labrum. The labrum is really good at handling shock absorption over time. What happens over time, though, specifically in the shoulder, is the muscles around there, they get overworked from bad postures, from injuries, from lack of exercise, poor diet, and they develop a lot of scar tissue. I talk about scar tissue all the time, but it's like glue that gets inside the muscle and makes the muscle weaker and less flexible. All the practitioners that are trained in the Peak Method are experts at finding and fixing scar tissue. So over time, that scar tissue builds up, and what it does is it puts more pressure on the joint itself. And in between that joint is what's called the labrum. That's that cartilage. It's a really good cushion to go in like this. But over time, with altered movements in mechanics, specifically in the rotator cuff, it puts more pressure on that cartilage. So what happens in the arm, essentially, is instead of your shoulder moving like this, it starts to jam just like that. And over time, you get some micro tears and small tears inside that cartilage. And that's what creates that popping or clicking. You'll see that a lot when you're going to raise your arm. You might feel some pain and some clicking in there. That's actually some cartilage problem going on. Now, a lot of the chiropractors out there just say, hey, it's just perfectly normal and you need to get an adjustment in there. That's not the case. That popping and clicking is happening because that cartilage is getting overloaded. Now, a big thing that I always look for is that popping and clicking painful. If it is, you got a bigger problem on your hands, and that labrum and that cartilage is getting a lot worse. And you need to get to a practitioner that can figure out specifically what's happening with that. And those are the Peak Method trained practitioners. Click the link below to get in contact with one of them. So the key to fixing any problem is you have to be able to interpret exactly what's going on and understanding that. And if someone just tells you, hey, it's popping and clicking, it's perfectly normal, it's not, and it can cause bigger problems down the road, because as that cartilage in that labrum gets beat up, it can cause more problems, and now your hip and your shoulder don't function how they should. It puts more pressure on the bone and the joint, and then you end up having to have surgery, and nobody wants to have surgery. So if you're dealing with popping and clicking in the joint, don't really know what's going on, want to get some real answers, send us a message. We're always here to help. I appreciate you guys taking time to watch the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.